We have remaining there. Okay, so we are going right to this absolutely, and it was supposed to end at the end of the hour. We're like, nope, 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 have to do it now because otherwise it's going to be completely sold out. First of all, you're getting all three pieces. You get this beautiful, huge, chunky, and this is Azure Peaks, right, Jay?
This is Azure Peaks, and this is
okay.
But this is the material. This is the material, the last of the last of the material that I got. And this is it? This is, well, and the reason I don't, you know, you say, well, how can you say that, Jay? Well, let me tell you something. When you know, when you dealt with this mine as long as I dealt with,
yeah, if anybody can say it.
When we first discovered this turquoise, and we were first, I think we were, as my grandfather would say, the first at the trough.
Oh, yep, I love that saying.
So we were the first at the trough when we found this. And how we found and discovered this turquoise deposit was actually a geologist friend of ours who, what he does for a living is he goes around to all these countries and he is actually, he's not looking for turquoise. I mean, what he's doing is he's looking for gold, silver, platinum, copper, iron, aluminum. I mean, that's what he's looking for. He works for he works as a contractor, as a geologist for these big mining operations, right? And that's what he was in Mongolia, and that's what he was doing. And so we were really one of the first to know about this. They found the turquoise. Okay, here's the thing when you find turquoise, right? It's not really the turquoise, but it's what that represents to a geologist. For turquoise to form, there has to be, number one, copper. Number two, there has to be iron, aluminum, zinc. I mean, they had phosphates, all kinds of phosphorus, all kinds of things. 26 actually different minerals and elements have to be present for turquoise to form. Plus, another series of geologic events have to be present for it to form. But for sure, you're going to have copper. You're going to have iron. It has to be there. The thing is, what concentration is it? Is it mineable? Is it actually, you know, it's all ore per ton, right? So it's actually extracting how much copper you're getting out of, say, of a ton. So that's what they think about. So anyway, he notified us on this turquoise. Now, the reason I say this was later on, the original material on top, all the turquoise that we got for probably the first, I don't know, almost 5, 6, maybe even 10 years, was all the surface deposit turquoise. It was just laying on the surface. Wow. And then actually when they dug down, you know, there was no heavy equipment involved in this, right? I mean, it was all pick, shovel, not even a backhoe, right? That's how that's how we were getting original turquoise. And it was more of like, there was some blue in it, but it was like a tealy blue. It had a lot of green. It had been, because it was a surface deposit, it had been oxidized. And so it had a lot more greens and a lot more greens. When they came in, and when I say built the infrastructure, this was a dirt road going into this. This is in the Gobi Desert. I mean, it was a dirt road. So when they came in, they started opening up the copper mine. And then now it's this huge, massive, I mean, if you saw it now today, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, like a big industrial open pit copper mine. They built a city. They put a big, you know, they've got paved roads in there for all. I mean, it's like they've developed the whole area, right, for just the copper mine. As they were mining the copper and they started going down, 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 about 300 meters is where they ran into turquoise again. And in this case, because it wasn't the surface turquoise, it was blue. And it's very, very rich in copper. The richer in copper, the higher the copper content in your turquoise, the bluer the material is going to be. Okay?
I know that.
So yes, so more copper, more blue.
Wow. Okay, and I have to quickly tell you what's happened. We sold it $376 retail. We sold it for $329.95, and you get it because you're getting the 2 necklaces and the pendant. You're getting it all, and that, like, it's just leaping off the screen, that beautiful arresting color. Right now, it's $189.98. So few of these. We have 120 total, I think it is, to go around. When it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone, and I can't even make this again, to tell you the truth. It would be very, very difficult to, you know, it's not like I do have some of the Azure Peaks left, but I'm down to, what I'm down to is the really, really, really larger pieces that are just like collector gem grade material.
Right, so you're not gonna, like-
I really don't have anything like on this. This is really a nice grade of turquoise. But the bulk on this, like I said, to cut this, you're looking to cut the heart and the two necklaces.
Yeah.
You're starting with over 6 pounds of raw material.
Gosh.
Six.
For just for this.
Six. I've been doing this
Holy
for 49
cow,
years. I'm telling you, I can pretty much look at anything and tell you about how much it's going to take to cut that. And you're looking at 6 pounds. In today's market, the only reason that we're even able to do this at our original value, our original price, is that we're not marking the turquoise raw material up. When I do my pricing on any of my turquoise, actually amethyst, any of the stuff that I do, the reason a lot of times that you see the prices that you see is because we're using the original price that we purchased that material for. That's what we're interpolating into our pricing formula.
Which is not what you're finding in the world right now.
If I had to buy that at current market value, okay, I would have to price it at that current market value. And here again, in this case, you're looking at stuff that I've had for 20 years, 10 years.
Gosh,
okay,
Jay.
and turquoise prices have only gone one direction. And another thing with turquoise, which is kind of a really strange phenomena right now, in the last few years, and I'm talking like 5 or 6 years, there is nothing new coming out of the ground. Do you know that I only have 4 producing mines now out of over 2 dozen? I have 2 dozen different kinds of turquoises in my vault, in my different rough materials. Of all of those turquoises, I only have 4 mines that are still actively producing.
I'm glad you talk about this because a lot of people think, oh, we see turquoise all the time. It's not really rare. But turquoise is. Turquoise
is rarer than diamonds, rarer than...
Think about see, I never thought about that before.
No, turquoise, I want you to think about this, okay? Turquoise is only found, it's not even found on every continent. So there are whole continents that have 0 turquoise. Because of the rarity of what it takes for it to form. So, I mean, I don't want to bore you with all the details. In fact, I could bore you with all the details, but I won't.
Yes.
And I don't have enough time. And Rock is a good friend of mine, but he would cut me off.
He'd be like, you're done, Jay. Get the hook, get the hook. We love it because, and look, this is a $376 value, right?
Well, even that, when you say $376.
Yeah, that's conservative now.
Well,
right?
The thing is okay, I double, triple dare you to go anywhere out there in the market.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And find
Maybe
this.
for the pendant.
No, and find, well, no, like go ahead, find a set of this, of natural real turquoise. It's not dyed, not treated. It's not dyed howlite. It's not something else. And be able to buy the pendant and both necklaces. And again, these aren't little teeny tchotchke beads.
No, I mean, look at this.
Okay, like this is a really massive piece. If you just add up what you would do, I mean, just what these would sell for just individually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just a crazy, crazy deal.
And I like that you can wear them separately, right? You can wear just the large nugget. You can wear the other necklace. You can take the heart, put that like on a velvet rope or a leather. That'd be gorgeous, like on a leather rope around your neck.
Sterling silver chain. You can do anything
exactly.
With it, right?
We
think about all the different ways and look at the size. And Bobby's very petite, but if you look at her hand in comparison to the size of this
gigantic.
heart, this isn't some little teeny bitty tchotchke piece, right?
No, I mean, the pendant is 2 inches. Like, think about that.
I mean, this is a chunk of turquoise, guys.
It is. And by the way, how many do we have left? Because I think we started with like 130 or something like that. Okay. We have like 60 left, and that's not counting all of the people that are calling. It'll be gone.
And here again, guys, okay, I can't replace this turquoise. Another thing that's happening, the turquoises that I have left in stock, and I'm not crying poverty here, okay? I have tonnage of a lot of the materials. But to tell you the truth, I've got to save it for cabochons. The thing is there's just certain material that we're just not going to be able to keep cutting beads and stuff. Otherwise, we eat up so much of our raw material. Anytime you cut something this size, especially you're cutting beads and stuff. Also, you don't want to waste your really big material because your big material, you can cut bigger cabs, right?
Right, exactly.
So there is a point, and we've come to the point on this material where we're really down to the wire. I really really, I've still got more material. I'm going to be cutting cabs, but to be able to cut beads and stuff would just be a waste of the material.
Gosh, it is so beautiful, and huge congratulations. And by the way, we've sold hundreds and hundreds of these.